What's up, everybody? Today we're at Hot Gates MMA, and we're here to speak with Chris Johnson, one of the super heavyweights from California. He's been to New York a couple times to fight. His fights have scratched a few times here for him. Today we have Sean Hobbs, we have Chris Johnson, and we have Dave Woodby. Chris, we're going to start with you. Just give us some of your information, your age, your height, your weight, who you're associated with, your disciplines, and if you could, your record.
36. 256 pounds. Train at Paragon Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Boss Root and Elite MMA, and of course here at Hot Gates MMA with Hobbs and Woodby.
Nice. Did you give us your record?
1-2.
1-2. Now you hail from California. Like we said in the beginning, you came here a couple times to fight. You haven't been able to fight yet, but we'll get to that in a little bit. When did you start fighting, Chris?
I started training Jiu-Jitsu probably going on about 8 years now, off and on. MMA-wise was roughly 3 or 4 years ago. Just kind of wanted to switch stuff up, mix everything together.
Now you held a belt for a while, didn't you? Or do you still hold that belt?
Actually, I do not hold that belt anymore. I did hold a belt, though.
You did hold the belt?
I held the California Fighting Alliance super heavyweight title.
Awesome. You know, a lot of people talk about amateur fighters, and in a state where amateurs really the only thing recognized because we can't fight professionally, even though it's not recognized. What does it mean to you to be an amateur MMA fighter?
It means quite a bit to me, actually. Gets me a lot of cage exposure. With fighting other organizations gets you exposure. That's about it.
Now you come from California and you've been in New York, like I said, a couple times. Now you come down with Sean and you come down with Dave. That must be like a little different for you as far as training goes. As we know, Sean's very proficient, expert in striking. Dave comes with his MMA. Have you learned anything out here in New York that you might be bringing back to California, or will it be something that stays here in New York that we're not going to see until you fight here finally?
It'll be something that stays in-house and that you guys won't see until it actually happens.
So I'm not going to ask. I usually ask, if you like to stand up, if you like to go to the ground. We're not even going to go there because we're going to keep that all under wraps. We've been with Dave before, and usually we know certain things we don't ask and we keep under wraps until they come out. We don't even know what happened, so we let the crowd, see that for themselves. What do you do to prepare for an upcoming fight? Like I said, you've been here. You had an injury at one time when you were supposed to fight at Cage Wars, but you're coming from California, coming to New York to fight. Now, not just with jet lag, the time change, but now you got to prepare for a fight. What's different about you preparing for a fight in New York coming from California?
It's just a different, training's different because of the jet lag, but in the time swap, but you really have no choice other than to deal with it at that moment.
Adapt and overcome.
Yeah.
Now, what would you say your biggest strength is? Not as far as takedown or standing up, but what your biggest strength that you, Chris Johnson, brings to the cage. Not Dave Woodby, not Sean Hobbs, but what you bring to the cage. Your strength.
You guys will have to see that.
Okay. If you had one dream fight, what would it be, Chris?
There's quite a few.
Quite a few? But if I came to you today and said, Chris, I need a fight. I got to book this today.
I probably wouldn't take it. I need a camp before.
Nice. Now, we're going to go back a little bit. We spoke previously about Cage Wars, about a couple fights that got scratched. The one, Josh's levels were bad. He's a diabetic. And we had the recent one, he ended up hurting his knee. We see on Facebook today that you asked basically Guy Hammond for a shot at the title. In layman's terms, you said, I think, would you like to dance or something like that? You came off respectful. Why does Chris Johnson, super heavyweight from California, coming into New York, why do you deserve a title, shot at that title of Guy Hammond that he's holding right
I deserve it because I've been out here 3 times coming from California, training hard in California, and want to take on the top person in that division.
So you're looking at Guy Hammond, because he is the top. I believe Guy is undefeated as well thus far. Now I'm going to ask Sean and Dave, maybe just give us a little insight. Now you both have seen Guy fight a couple times. Will things be changing if this fight happens with Chris? The way Chris fights? Is your game plan still set the way you would have it without divulging it? I know you guys pick it apart. You guys have been around the fight game for a long time. So here you are taking Chris and getting him ready for possible. We don't know. This is possible. We don't even know what's going to happen for a possible title fight. So I think enough was said there, huh? Sean, you have anything?
Just a little bit. Every fight's different. Every fighter is different. When I look at a fighter, I can tell pretty much their weaknesses and their strengths right away. I think it'd be a good matchup. I mean, everybody doesn't know. I think they're underestimating Chris without telling what Chris's strengths are. I take nothing from Guy. I mean, he does what he does. He's in the position he's in because of what he's done. And there's no bad mouth. There's no anything to it. I just think that'd be a hell of a fight.
Right. And I think that, some things got lost in translation today because I know there was no disrespect intended after talking to Chris and talking to you guys. But it looks like it's going to be a barn burner if this comes to the Capital, District, especially if we bring Cage Wars 28 back to the Washington Armory, like I like to call coming back there is like coming home. We all, associate the Washington Armory. Cage fighting we consider Cage Wars. We would expect that there. I know we would like to see it. Guy is a great fighter. Like you said, taking nothing away from Guy. So now Chris wants to fight the best in New York. He's here in New York. And he's going to train hard in New York. I know things will be a lot different than California. We've seen some of the stuff in the past with different fighters from Dave and Sean. So things will be a little different for, Chris, most definitely. Probably be uncomfortable a little bit here and there. But that's what happens when you train to be the best. You have to be the best, and you train like the best. So, Chris, we're going to sum it up all right here before we get some words from your trainers, if they have anything. Where do you see yourself 5 years from today with your MMA career?
Big organization, maybe UFC, maybe World Series. Who knows?
Now, I know that was the last question, but what's the chances of Chris Johnson coming to the East Coast, not being on the West Coast, to stay at home with Hot Gates MMA? Now, the facility, we're in their facility. It's coming along quite fast from the last time we were here, very fast. Things are looking great, and there's a lot of big things planned. Any chance?
Yeah.
Relocation?
Maybe.
A little relocation. So, you won't be maybe coming out with a little fight here in California, but the New York logo on the bottom, huh?
I think we may keep it both.
Maybe both, huh?
Maybe have to split that up a little.
Split it up, a little
Keep the
50-50.
tally.
Awesome. I appreciate you guys taking the time out, stopping construction in here. As you can see by the two sleepers, they're doing a lot of work in here. And, so there might be some green stuff that we see, but do you guys have any final words? Dave, we know you're a man of not many words when it comes to some interviews, but if you have anything for us.
I'm excited about the challenge. Chris fighting Guy. I think it's going to be interesting, to say the least.
Right.
I do want to touch briefly on the post earlier today. By all means, we have nothing but the utmost respect for Ron and Team Tygon. Always have. So after looking at the post and addressing it, it was, as I said before, it was more of a jovial thing, like, hey, let's dance, Well, there's no disrespect meant at all. So
Right.
the apology is not an apology of, anything other than sorry for your misunderstanding.
Right.
But
things get lost in translation. when it's
Yeah,
put
all
in
the time,
text.
it's text messaging, you
Right.
know what I mean, it is what it is.
Right.
You know, but, that'd be cool if he took the fight.
Yeah,
You know, that'd be cool, it'd definitely be a challenge for him, I see, you know, he's been walking through the guys, and, I think we have something, we got something to offer.
yeah, because like Bob Rose said, he doesn't think he's been hit ever as hard as he was. He underestimated guys hit. But I see a striking coach there that maybe I'll prove that a little different, and another coach that's going to prove a lot of other things different.
Guess it's not effective if they're not there, right?
That's true, that's true.
Right.
So,
Excellent. Sean, anything?
Just recapping on just the basics. I mean, I think it's going to be a really good fight. I think it's going to be entertaining. I think it's going to be kind of surprising.
Excellent. Well, I appreciate you guys' time. Like I said, love what you're doing with the place. Can't wait to get in here and, see what's happening. I know there's going to be some other big things that we'll be announcing soon that's going to be going on. And once again, thank you for everybody watching this video. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Sean. And thank you, Dave.
Thank you.
thank you.